Hey, what's good, people? This is Sports Debate Tuesday. I'm Jay, that's Rob. Buckle your seatbelt, fasten up. Episode starts right now. Yo, they want to think we new to this. I don't know that. I don't know about that, but I'm true to this. My dude, I think I know the rules to this. We solo. We don't need a crew to this. So before they start adding the bull to this, thinking that we don't know how to groove to this, know this. We were both through with it before they even learned what to do with it. This is Sports Debate Tuesday. That is my man. Say it with me, people. Rob, keep it. McLean. I am Jason DeDeas. This is a new episode, and we're going to talk more of the same. We got a little NBA in our life. We got a lot of football in our life. An amazing UFC event. We have two topics for to shame or to not to shame, a trail of little quick questions. But, Rob, let's get right to it. First things first. Of course. We're neck deep in the NFL. We're just past week 9 going into week 10. So we're going to be talking some football. So what initially looked like a weekend of business as usual coming in, the upset gods ruined everybody's weekend. We ain't even going to talk about the NFL pick six, all right? So many consider the Falcons beating the Saints a mild upset. Would you agree with that? I consider the mild upset, even though they had the tools. I just don't know what was missing. It was a lot like the Giants games.
Jameis Winston is the problem.
Yeah.
They don't have a quarterback.
There it is. Oh, so it's one battle was missing with the Saints than the Falcons, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Falcons are playing good football,
Mhm.
but that's what a bad team has to do. They got to play. They got to beat everybody. They got to beat the bad teams and the good teams.
Yeah.
So,
well, along with that
yeah.
upset, the Giants win at home. Okay, nobody saw that coming against the Raiders. The Cowboys got housed by the Broncos. I mean, look, what was the score? It was 31. Was it 30-16 or 30-14? Those 14 points came at the end. Those are empty calorie points.
Oh yeah.
It
was 27-zip for a while.
And of course, less. I mean, you can't get it off the news right now. The Buffalo Bills lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars, a team that didn't even win on this continent until they beat the Bills. And on Sunday night, the Titans surprised all by beating a full-fledged Rams team without Derrick Henry. So with that being said, Rob, here's the question. Gotta let you talk, my man. The floor is yours. Which team on the losing end of the stick, on the losing end of these upsets, was the most disappointing? You came in, you expected this team to win, and you're like, you know what? You laid a golden goose egg. I'm disappointed.
So it's funny. It's actually none of the teams you mentioned. It's the Browns. The Browns came in and they should have lost this game, and they came in and dominated the Bengals. Disappointed by the Bengals. They could have had a stranglehold on this season, on this entire division, and they not even made it a close game. They got absolutely obliterated. 41-10. They just had Baker Mayfield possibly not playing great football because he came in off the shoulder. Maybe he's going to play, maybe not. The team's kind of in flux, and then you kind of just throw a goose egg out there. I think that was one of the biggest upsets. Talking about a team who's played great all year to a team that has played pretty averaged, if not subpar, to what they're capable of playing all year. And now that division is right back in anybody's hands. So very tough game for the Bengals, and sorry to see that, but I think that was the most disappointing for me to see.
I got to tell you, out of everything you just said, and I really like your pick, by the way, because it wasn't mentioned in any of the upsets, even though the Browns wouldn't be considered a major upset, but it was an upset nonetheless. But the most intriguing thing you said was now the division's competitive, because every single game we mentioned outside of the Cowboys, now the division, which looked like a runaway for some of these teams, is like, yo, this is a problem. This is a problem. Now, with that being said, all right, here we go. This way you ain't got to listen to that damn chant, right? Hey, let's go. All right, for me, Rob McLean, I am not objective. I'm a prisoner of the moment, so I have to say the biggest disappointment as far as upsets go is my Buffalo Bills. And I don't think anyone needs to be a Bills fan to actually call this one of your upsets. You got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like I mentioned before, it's only their second win of the season. It's their first win in North America, right? Their first one was against Miami and England and London. They didn't even beat a team on this continent yet. And there we go, giving Trevor Lawrence chance after chance after chance after chance to win this game. I mean, for Christ's sakes, that guy had more breaks than Lindsay Lohan in court. But I don't want to talk about Trevor Lawrence. I don't want to talk about the great coaching that we finally saw this dude, come up with, because we really haven't seen him do his best defensive wise in all three phases. I want to talk about a guy I love the most and a guy I can't stand. His name is Josh Allen. Now, for my Buffalo Bills fans and my brethrens and my backers, the Allen I can't stand, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about my Josh Allen. I'm not talking about that cat from Fresno that went to some school nobody heard of that blew up the NFL and was running for league MVP last year. I'm talking about another guy with the same first name and the same last name. He is a I think an edge rusher on the Jaguars, and whose name happens to be Josh Allen. This dude was a pain in the ass, all right? My Josh Allen got sacked by Josh Allen. My Josh Allen got intercepted by Josh Allen. My Josh Allen got a fumble recovered by, yes, you guessed it, Josh Allen, which marks the first time in NFL history someone by the same first and last name has succeeded in the big three in all three categories, and probably won't even happen again for the next 50 years. So it was just a huge disappointment all around. The fumbles were untimely, the interceptions were careless, and Buffalo, with the Patriots playing as well as they are, and Bill Belichick getting momentum, and Mac Jones, a quarterback he can undress in front of the team and be thick-skinned enough to take it. I mean, we could talk about Mac Jones later, but Rob McLean, my big disappointment was my Buffalo Bills. Hey, 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 hey. Oh, no, Buffalo. Since we got a little bit of time, let's do a little bit of an attachment question. Which upset one was the most impressive to you? I'd like to go first on this one, which also wasn't mentioned on this one. I got to go to the Arizona Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray, they probably came in as a favorite, but you scratch Kyler Murray from the lineup, you scratch the number one wideout, DeAndre Hopkins, from the lineup, all of a sudden you got a game. And no Murray, no Hopkins, no problem. A house of San Francisco 49ers, they don't care about no Jimmy G. And to me, they're the real best team in the NFL. I mean, they had one hiccup against a team with a very capable quarterback. We're gonna talk about Rodgers later too, of course. So, which upset impressed you the most?
Also, to piggyback on what you said, Isaiah Simmons looking real nice, real big.
Yeah, right.
Nice defense. I'm like, whoa, that's a linebacker. He looked like I don't even know. He looks like as big as a lineman. He reminds me of like a DK Metcalf on defense. But
wow, dude. Yep.
What was I gonna say? When we talking about most satisfying win, I can go to my Giants. Since you didn't put them up there, I'll put them up there.
The G-Man.
I think the most satisfying thing, I don't follow too many teams that heavily, but what I would love to see in any sport is the teams that draft their players have success with the drafted players. And the last sack of the night for the Giants was this guy Roche, who was drafted 5th, 6th round by the Giants. You got Xavier McKinney, who had a huge pick six, 2 picks last night, 1 pick six. He was drafted. They moved up early second round, 2 draft picks, 2 drafts ago to pick him. And it's just Kadarius Toney's doing great, Daniel Jones doing great. I think it's great that that those pieces that are drafted, not the ones that were brought in through free agency, are the ones that are helping to create the success on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So I think it's just really good football. I think the Raiders are absolutely underrated team, and very happy to see that kind of a win.
Yeah, they beat it. Look, they beat a team with a winning record, and I got to tell you, your assessment of the Giants is worthy of just plugging you into the headphones of Giants fans everywhere. I mean, they need more people like you to keep the glass half full on this, right? Because a lot of Giants fans, New York, we're a bunch of haters, so we always see the negative part in this
Three
and
and
that. But
six.
I can't believe how you put all this. You know what I'm saying? And their wins were very much like the Jets, right? They were quality wins against
Quality.
opponents who deserve the respect that they deserve. The
Yeah.
Raiders, right? Derek Carr. I mean, I think they were 4-2 and 5-2 going into this. Now 5-3. So once again, the 3-6 Giants have beaten
Well,
an over 500 team.
it's funny because I'm actually really, as a being from New York, I'm actually really tough on the Jets. But I have to say too, the Jets, they lost. They won one,
Right.
they lost one.
Yeah.
Um, they've looked really good. Their
Yeah.
defenses look really strong, even though
Hmm.
they've been letting up points. The defense looks strong for the talent they have, and quarterback play has been pretty good. So you got to
Yeah.
be happy about, even if you're losing games, you got to be happy about the way that you're losing
Yeah, and the
games,
Jets, dude,
which translates.
their two wins are the Bengals and the Titans, two teams that a lot of people wish they had a victory over, including my Buffalo
Right.
Bills. So, yep. Wow, man. Good question for NFL. Let's re-explore that, but let's move on to our pick six. Last week, Derek Zimmerman, who was our challenger. Zimmerman's a former AVP player. He's a Louisiana product. He's a good club coach. As far as like one of those I don't give a damn dudes, I love those guys because they're never gonna say nothing different about you after you leave the conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? Everything you need to know what they think you is right there. East Coast worthy dude living in Kenner. And he was 3-3. Rob McLean was 2-4 people. I was 1-5, and man, we're just sucking right now. And I'll go through the totals. We only suck this week, so I mean I'll take that back. Let's go through the totals. I believe the guests are still leading us. The guests are 32-16. Rob McLean is 25-23. And yours truly, I'm 27-21. So, Rob's trying to get out the basement as soon as he passes me.
I broke
Challengers,
500.
host, we coming for you. He said I'm coming for you. So let's do our this week's pick six. The first game we have the Saints visiting the Tennessee Titans. Bobby McGee, who you got?
Oof, man. I mean, a quick answer. I'm gonna go Tennessee. Um, yeah, I think their team's put together. They're finally taking the handcuffs off of Ryan Tannehill. Unfortunately, that happens without Derrick Henry, but yeah, that defense is real strong. I love that front four, and that's how you make a great defense in the NFL. Is that strong front four?
Look, Sean Payton's a really good coach, and as far as like recovering from losses, he's really good. But the Saints, who are a really good team at home, really dropped this one against the Falcons, and I don't see how they recover against the Titans team, who seems to be who's next man up, almost a Patriot. Where I think that guy was one of Bill Belichick's acolytes as well, their head coach, right? Mike Vrabel. So no Derrick Henry. They managed to mix it up. Adrian Peterson didn't have a lot of yards, but when you need him to punch one in, maybe they just need him for short yardage situations. Glad they worked him out. He looks in great shape, dude. I got the Titans. Yep, you too, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
all right, so second game is Falcons and the Cowboys. I'm going to go first on this one. The Cowboys laid a golden goose egg, getting absolutely murked by the Denver Broncos, and I don't see that happening twice. Matt Ryan's not my man against them. I got to go Cowboys.
And this is just because, and it's not because I dislike the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just think that a good quarterback with a good offense can tear up the defense of that team. Look at Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he has a ridiculous receiving core,
Yeah, he does.
but Matt Ryan can make up with that with his ability to pass. So I'll go with the Falcons over the
Come on.
Cowboys. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know,
Salute.
hey, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. The problem was though is Atlanta gave up 23 points at the very end of the game to almost give up that game.
Yep.
Very Super Bowl esque. So I think it's just that those things just haunt that team where if they can just keep their heads down and just put points on the board. If you guys put on 30 points, it don't matter. It don't
100%.
matter.
Oh my God,
Put up
100%.
30.
Game three, we have this is a good one. We got the Cleveland Browns visiting New England to go against the Patriots. Robbie, you go first. Who we got?
Patriots, man. Patriots, man. Come on. Easy business. Bill Belichick finally got his guy.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got a quarterback who's willing to get rid of the ball. Tom Brady wants to throw the ball down the field. Good for him. Willing to get the ball out of his hands. So We're gonna have a great quarterback in Tom Brady somewhere else, and we're gonna have a great team, a great organization in the New England Patriots. It's gonna be
I'm
New England again.
I'm very impressed that you're quick to pick a team like this because when I look at this match, you got Belichick that found his guy, but you also got Cleveland that got rid of the right guy. You know what I'm saying? And it was one of those things where, when you lose a star, you wonder how the team's going to react. And I just watched the way they rally behind Baker Mayfield, man. Baker Mayfield thumps his chest. He sticks his chest out there. You know what I'm saying? And he's I think in his heart of hearts he doesn't care who has his back, but knowing that everyone rallies when he got hit out of bounds a couple of weeks ago, and everyone asked him if he was all right, he just sprung past him and went back in the court and went first down. He didn't get flagged for taunting for that because I'm like, my God, that quarterback was jacked and so was his team, and I think they're gonna be jacked going into New England. Bill Belichick's gonna have a really really hard time against a guy who doesn't need a running game to beat him. Bill Belichick wants Chubb to run.
Let me tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you that though. I'm gonna tell you just to piggyback on what
Go
you
ahead.
said is I firmly believe that the reason why Baker Mayfield will never be a championship quarterback is
Uh-huh.
because that exact reason right there.
Yeah.
He wants to be the star, and no offense,
Nah.
he's just not good enough to be
No.
that guy.
No, those
Look at
guys
the
don't win
running
Super
game.
Bowls.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to hand the damn ball off
Mm-hmm.
and stop wanting to throw the ball 50, 54, 56 times a
Yep.
game. It's not how you win. And he has the running game. He has the offensive line. He has the defense,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So, and you could say, oh, it's the offense coordinator, it's the coach. At the end of the day, you are also that input. So if you
Yeah.
don't know how to win, you are going to be just as vulnerable to
Yeah.
losing as the coaches are.
That
Just like you
attitude.
said, hey,
Yeah.
let's push it down the field.
Mm-hmm.
No, let's hand the ball off so we can push the ball down the field. That's just the same. That's the same language. So if your language is just push the ball down the field, I need the ball in my hands. I need to get it to my receivers. Then you're not really, being a full functioning quarterback. That's the way I
I'll
see
tell
it.
you what, the way the Patriots are playing right now, if they keep going with a little bit of momentum every week, by the time week 12 comes, they're gonna be talking about Super Bowl with them. But I'm not talking about them this
No,
Sunday.
no,
I ain't talking
not yet.
about Baker winning no Super Bowl either, but I'm talking about
Uh-uh.
he's definitely good enough to beat the Patriots. I pick the Browns. I'll pick the Browns on
All right,
this.
all
Yeah,
right. We got
yeah.
to split.
Shishing. Rob did the same thing what I did with the Falcons. Shishing. Seahawks at
Mm,
Packers. I
mm.
guess I got to go first at this one. I don't have a whole lot about Aaron Rodgers not playing in this game. I know he's in some hot water with I'll gently, affectionately refer to as misleading the public. If he plays, and that's at Green Bay, I got to go up the Packers. And I don't see how they don't let him play this game. They find ways to let their rock stars play in the NFL. They're not going to be,
Even if you lose draft picks,
yeah, especially if you
that's
lose
what's going
draft
to
picks.
happen.
Yeah,
That's what's
yep,
going to happen.
yep, yeah. Um, Everyone's got Rodgers back on his team. Wisconsin's got his back, and this game's in Wisconsin. I picked the Packers to beat the Seahawks.
You know, I say the same thing. Like if he plays, if it's this, if it's that. But that's kind of the whole point of the situation that we're in. Is that is he going to play? Is he going to practice? Is he going to come out like the first week and have two interceptions and 16 for 25? That's the questions we got to ask. So
Yeah.
for all those reasons, I'm actually going to go with the Seahawks.
Okay.
Russell Wilson's coming back. He's going to be on the field. They're going to put up 27. I still don't believe in the Seahawks being a top flight team. I don't believe in their defense at all. But you just
They've
don't
always
know.
played the Packers tough.
Yes,
They've always played the
because
Packers tough.
again, yes, I think a lot of that's because the weather doesn't affect them. The stadium noise doesn't affect them as much, because they have that type of stadium, they have that type of weather. But man, I'm gonna go with the Packers on this because I do believe Aaron's gonna play.
Right.
And the Seahawks just aren't good enough. But yeah, man, I really hope that Aaron doesn't screw me this week.
So you're picking the Seahawks?
Nah, I can't, man. I gotta go Packers, man. I can't have too many crazy picks.
All right, we got the
Nah,
Lions
nah.
against the Steelers. You go first. You went last on this one. You got to go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Steelers. I think it's just consistent offense for them, And yeah, the defense is just eventually going to pick up to their original
No.
high standard. So
You know, I cheer for the Lions. I desperately want them to win their first one, but I'm a little bit fed up of taking these hot L's, thinking that this week is going to be their week. This week's going to be their week. I feel like a reverse Cowboys fan. I'm not going to get, I'm not taking a bait. I will not get honey dicked on this one. I'm going Steelers. Um, Last one is the Chiefs at the Raiders. I'm going to go first one on this one. Dirty deeds, the done dirt Chiefs. Dirty deeds, the done dirt Chiefs. I picked the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they had a lot of kinks and stuff and fixes they had to take care of. Kelsey's actually connected with Mahomes. Mahomes is on the move a little bit, and I think they're going to tear apart the Raiders in Las Vegas.
for the same freaking reason that you didn't pick the Lions, I'm finished with the Chiefs, man. You know, they don't play up, they don't play down, they just play eh. And I don't know what's going on. I think a lot of it is just everybody's looking at Patrick to step up and be the captain, and he's got too much shit going on.
Yep.
You know, excuse my language. But
It's all right.
yeah, you know, Tyreek can step up, but I really think it's Travis Kelsey. You know, he used to be the heart and blood and soul of the offense, you know, with his just being a very intense player. And I think they just kind of lost that, you know, that demand for the ball, that demand for, you know, excellence. So
Yeah.
in that essence, I think I'm just gonna have to go against the Chiefs here. You know, their
Yeah.
pass rush is all right, you know, but they get gashed. They get gashed
They
on the
really
run
do.
game. So
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with the Raiders, and you know, it's gonna be a fun matchup. But I think that the Raiders are actually gonna put it together for a game, and come through with a strong win. You know,
Yeah.
double digit, double digit
And you
victory.
mentioned that the Chiefs are playing, and I think they are. And for some reason, I think that is good enough to win this one game. But is not good enough to win the AFC West. It's just they're just all four teams are just playing quality football every week, and they're desperately gonna need. I don't even know, right? I don't even
Let me
know.
ask you this:
Please go ahead.
you asked this question a while ago. Do you think the Patriots are gonna get to the playoffs? Do you think the Chiefs are gonna get to the playoffs?
Well, the answer to that in quick questions, Rob McLean. We save that
Ah,
for later, okay?
it's coming.
Because
It's
it's a
coming.
question we're both gonna have to answer. So
Yeah,
that's a good question,
everybody does.
and it's I swear to God, it's in my quick
Four and
questions.
four,
So
six
people
and two.
so
You
people
know,
listening, stay tuned. We both gonna answer that question, and we might just go yes or no. We might go to the why because quick question. You know, sometimes we do that. Um, and and we are done with this is week 10 of the NFL Pick Six. I think it's pretty fun doing that, and I think it's really cool to have our guests come in and do it. Wendy Jones shocked the world, being 6-0. I told her that she lost her freaking mind, but losing my freaking mind over the weekend is the UFC, dude. I mean, this is topic 3, UFC
good fight.
268, but 268 though. That's what I just kept saying. But UFC 268 though. The US 268, bro. That was amazing. And just when I thought the previous card, the last week with Glover Teixeira and Sanhagen versus Peter John was, stole the show and all the fights, all of the Russian guys stole the show. Just when you think that they hit their high point, they go to Madison Square Garden, Rob. They go to New York City, man, and they just blew the doors off. By the way, broke the gate record again. The money, the gate, they broke their own record for the money for the gate. Don't know the exact number, but I know they held the previous record. So here we go. Um, all right. Every prelim card resulted in a finish, but to me, the most exciting matches, which are all on a pay-per-view, in my opinion, all my favorite matches in a reversal resulted in a decision, because I know we all like to see these exotic finishes and these spectacular knockouts or slick submissions, but my favorite matches were a decision. And I'll actually put them up because we were talking previously to the podcast about that. So I'm just gonna do this, show everybody what this is all about. Check this out, dude. Check out this freaking card, man. So Rob, while everyone's taking a look at the card on the video version, audio version. Sorry, too bad, guys. What was your fight of the night? That's the first question. And we'll answer that one at a time. And what is next for the champions, Kamaru Usman, and for Thug Rose Namajunas? So, Rob, um, my fight of the night, it's weird because everyone doesn't think it's their fight of the night because the opening card, Justin Gaethje or whatever, was everyone else is what everyone else is saying. My fight of the night was Thug Rose and Zhang Weili, man. I just thought these girls slugged it out, and Zhang Weili, I knew if she was able to stand and duke it out with Joanna Jędrzejczyk, I knew, or AKA Joanna Champion, I knew she'd become ready to go with this girl, and she's really hard to finish. Even though she lost by head kick knockout, she protested that finish last time she lost to Rose. And it was a razor thin match, and it was a deserving split decision because I knew that fight could have gone another way. And just two girls out there giving their heart and just this emotional finish by both of them. So my fight of the night was Thug Rose.
Yeah, I think it's razor thin between. I mean, you always
Did I
got to
take
stay
yours?
in the main card. No, no, no. I
Okay.
mean, yeah, I thought that was a great fight. I think there was three really good fights. I think that's you got the Chandler Gagey, which I said was just going to be a great fight because they're just the same kind of guy. Just Gagey does it better with more experience. And
It's probably best round of the year. That first
oh
round.
man, when he was just smacking dude. I mean, yeah, they had it was. I thought that was my fight of the night. To be honest, I thought it was razor thin between Kobe and Kamaru, but yeah, Kamaru kind of beat him up a little bit, and I thought it was a little further spread than what it finished as. I thought it
Right.
was a little bit more
I
49
thought second
46. Is one
round
of
was
those cards
10-8.
was.
None of the judges gave 10-8 for second round.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
double,
he
the
he
two
almost put out.
knockdowns. Yeah.
Yeah, he almost put him out. So. But yeah, I thought Gagey and Chandler was probably my fight of the night if you stay in the main card. Outside of that, I thought Pereira Micheladas was a dope fight. Yeah. Ooh, my
Oh, talk
gosh, that
about
guy.
fulfilling expectations, right?
Yeah,
That
and that
freaking
was good because they took him down. He had good defense. He didn't take too much damage. Came back second round and just stood tall and oof.
what a great sample size, though. You just said that too. They took him down, and this is a guy who's he's a glory kickboxing champ. Okay, he's like this absolute savage for the people that never heard of this dude before, Alex Pereira. But he managed to get up even though he got taken down. Used the cage to walk it, and then the next round, that jumping knee,
Double
that high
that knee
knee, man.
switch. That shit is dirty.
That's
Yeah,
some Karate
Masvidal did it
Kid
to
stuff right
Askren.
there, boy.
Yeah. It's like you put the knee right there, and then you just
Yeah.
like switch it to it. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Always happy for
Yeah.
Bobby Green. Bobby Green, who
That.
always comes to fight.
Whew.
His slips are nasty. His slips are so nasty. He fights with both hands down because he knows the distance. You know,
Who was he fighting again? I even forgot.
Alaya Quinta.
Yeah, I
Alaya
forgot.
Quinta is no scrub. I know. No
No,
matter
he's
what
not.
anyone thinks of that dude, I'm telling you, that dude is hard to finish. You
He
can you
is.
can beat that dude's brains, and you do not. That guy, if you look at his win loss record, that dude does not get finished, dude.
No, but
Hmm.
Bobby Green
Yeah.
was that was just maybe not the style because I know Al's a little bit more of a boxing style,
Hmm.
a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more trying to work angles, a little bit more of a bully kind of a fighter. And Bobby Green
Yeah.
was just doing, the fade and the lean, and there was no way he was going to touch him, and he was getting fully popped first round. Just yeah, that was a great fight too. But
Yeah. This is
that,
Aya
that was a great, that
Quinta's
was a
first
really good
knockout
call. That was a
loss.
really good card.
That was his first knockout loss. He's lost by technical submission, meaning that he doesn't tap. Technical submission meant you passed out, or the ref just heard something break or pop, and the ref stops the fight. This dude, I mean, yeah. But happy for Bobby Green, man. If you ever heard his backstory, how he lost his brother, how he lost family members, friends, and just showed everybody, look, I came back from this. Y'all can too, man. I wish he gets one more win. I'd like to see the UFC give him some shine. Maybe not a title shot, but let him. Maybe some kind of community outreach, man. This is exactly who the kids need to be talking to. Someone, who was down with that, who was about that life, who chose to go another way. So, Chris Barnett, that dude looked like the black butter bean, knocked out Jean Vellante with a spinning, I think it was a spinning axe kick. This dude is probably 5'11". and maybe walks around 280. Had to make and the stomach's hanging, and he looks like he can barely walk. He can wipe his own behind, and he did a spinning back kick and knocked out Jean Volante in the early prelims before the prelims started. So Chris Curtis, good for him. Shabazian, I felt bad for, but here's the second question, and this is where you go first. Let's talk about the two champs really, really quick. What's up next for? Who do you think is up next for Kamaru Usman? He's probably going to take a vacation. You have a fight like that, he's going to take a little time off.
Yeah,
Covington
I
will be
mean,
back in the gym though.
yeah, I mean, because Kobe lost, and Kobe's gonna go. I don't think down the list, but he's gonna have to fight somebody tough. I would love to see Kobe fight Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
I feel like that if Gilbert's not in the
Yeah.
running,
What about
because
Gilbert? Oh my
yeah,
God.
and I don't think he wants to see Gilbert, but that would be my next up would be Gilbert Burns, because I want to see that true rematch, because we all know, we saw how he fought the first one. And maybe that's how he fights, but you got to give him another shot. That's you don't want
Yeah.
somebody to go out on I wasn't really ready, because he really hasn't had that many fights like that. He kind of came onto the scene, kind of
Mm.
bursted on, and shot right to the top. He hasn't had many like tough
Yep.
title fights,
What about
title
Kamaru?
style fights. Yeah, so you put him against Kamaru early on his, let's say, his title career. It's kind of hard. So yeah,
So
I think
Burns for
Gilbert
Covington.
Burns. I think Burns should be the next for Usman, but I don't
Okay.
think you said Usman's probably going to take some time off. So I think Burns goes through Covington, and then he'd probably be the next one up for Usman. But I still think that Kobe should be the gatekeeper to who fights Usman next.
Yeah.
I think it should be a fight that goes through him. If he wins again, he should have another shot at. That's
Here's
and if Usman needs to go to another weight class to
Mhm.
to do something different, but your job at welterweight is to defend that welterweight title. If it's the same
100%.
guy coming, it's the same guy coming.
Something GSP
You know,
did, right? He didn't move. He cemented his GOAT status about doing that, and you never
yeah,
heard any controversies about him. He did it the clean way, right? Um,
yeah,
so for me, what's I think for both fighters is highly contingent on the winner and loser between Leon Edwards and Masvidal, who fight, I believe, a couple of weeks from now, first week or second week of December. I think if Leon Edwards wins that match, he gets his much deserved title match. He's I mean, talk about consecutive wins to actually fight a guy. It would be his second meeting against Usman, because I believe Usman won a decision against him a couple of years ago. But if Leon Edwards' records have been ridiculously good. And if Masvidal
that's true.
loses that fight, Kobe already said he wants him in a bad way. So Kobe already knows he's on the back of the line. So he can balance his time between playing gatekeeper, knocking off contenders, and at the same time taking some fights where he think he can make some money. A lot of people would pay to see Jorge Masvidal fight Kobe Covington, even though in their heart of hearts they know how that's gonna end. But I think that's what I think should be, and I think that's what's gonna happen. However, if Masvidal upsets Leon Edwards, I see Masvidal still fighting Covington because he's not going to get a title shot off a one win, right? And then for Usman, they're trying to fast track this Kamzat guy, man, and I don't like that, because I think he's gonna suffer the same fate that Darren Till did against Tyron Woodley. You think these guys are ready, and then Tyron pieced up and choked out Darren Till, and I think Usman will do bad things to that dude. I know he's good, but relax.
True,
Yeah. So second
true.
title fight, who's up? And I'm gonna put it up. UFC
Don't
rankings,
do that.
just because it's the women's division, and these sexist mother jabbers
Don't
don't
do that to
appreciate.
Kazmat.
I know.
Who's ever said that? Has anybody mentioned that they're gonna try to fast track him to the title?
Let's see. I just want to see who the top
Because
10 is.
welterweight is a whole different,
It really is. Here it is. At
a
first,
whole
before we go to
different
the women,
thing.
take a good look at the top 10, the people that are ahead of him.
Oh,
Bilal
I hear you.
Muhammad is a nasty fight. Neil
Oh, at
Magny's a
least he's
nasty
in the
fight.
top 10.
Michael Chiesa will sexy Jesus him, dude. Stephen
But see,
Thompson.
that I feel like is no, but see, like I feel like there's a lot of holes. There's always holes in the top 10. You
I
know what I
know.
mean? Like Sean Strickland, no offense,
Yep.
is in, top 10. You know what I mean? Barbatori, like I feel like you can always pick a
Well,
guy
Strickland's
and
middleweight, so
and I know. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you look at over here, you got like I feel like Gastelum is
Actually, let's
not.
take a
You
look.
look at these divisions, and you
Yep.
see really talented fighters that may not be at the top. That's what makes
There
a
goes
a,
Sean.
a really good fight card. But
Yep.
yeah, like look at what's in front. Like Steven Thompson against Cosma, like that would be that's a whole different story. Michael
Yeah.
Chiesa, Jorge Masvidal. Like if Cosma's smart, he'd fight like a Neil Magny, who has never beaten those guys in the
Right.
top 10. You know what I
No, no
mean?
doubt.
Or you know, I mean, honestly, I think Michael Chiesa is probably the best option for him to fight next
Yeah.
to move up those
Kiz is on a
rankings
winning streak
because
too. Yep.
yeah, but also I,
It'd
I
be
just
the
don't think he has that knockout type of thing. And at the end of the day, it's gonna end up on the ground somewhere. And
he
both of
can,
them are
but
skilled.
he carries, and I know this doesn't really mean anything to Usman. He carries 170 really well. He carries
Who's that?
170.
Cosma?
Chiesa. Michael
Oh,
Chiesa.
Chiesa. Yeah.
He's a really
Almost
good
too well though.
wrestler, but the problem is, I feel like everything he does and the weight he carries and the way he can manipulate his weight and use wrestling and cage and grappling is like take all of that, multiply that by two, and then you got Kamaru Usman. But look, we ain't talking about who Usman's gonna beat because I think Usman. It's a two horse. This division is a 2 horse race anyway. It's just about who's up for the next for the title. Usman is not gonna fight middleweight as long as Israel Adesanya is the champ. He already said that. He's not gonna fight a fellow Nigerian in there.
I I mean, I don't think he'd have the skill to do that, to be
No,
honest.
no,
But
and he'd be a
unless he
tiny
would take him
185,
down,
dude. You got. I think the top echelon of 185 are all potential 205ers too. So I mean, consider
true.
that, right? That Adesanya fought at 205, Jared Cannonier fought at 205, Marvin Vittori's a big 185, Derek Brunson's a big
Mhm.
185, Paulo Costa should really just stay at 205. So think about all these savages. My goodness. So all right, Zyrie, let's go to the women. Wiley Zhang. What's up next for her, and what's up next for Thug Rose? So I'll go first on this. Thug Rose, I think we both, maybe we both agree, is Carla Esparza. I think you think Marina Rodriguez, but I'm giving you your floor on that one. And for Xylee Wang, I'd like for her to fight Claudia Gadelha. I think that'd be a good grappler versus striker match. So those would be my two.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Marina Rodriguez for whoever, because again, Rose could take time off too.
Yeah,
Either
yeah.
one of them can. That's a tough fight. They both took time off last time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would just like to see Marina in that spot. Either fighting Wei Li to get to that championship fight, or
Yeah,
to be able to maybe fight Carla Esparza for not an interim, but
yeah.
the right to
She has some
fight.
good wins, man.
Uh,
She beat
yeah,
Rebus. She beat Michelle Waterson. Karate Heidi's not an easy out. She beat Mackenzie Dern. A lot of people, are hyping Mackenzie Dern on that, and she kind of like, hey, said, what about me?
shut it
So,
down
yeah,
hard. And that's why, like, it's more for me with her. It's more about how those fights finished.
hmm
I think, and not to be like a guys versus girls thing, but it was even like back in the day when UFC was very young,
uh-huh.
right? Like the UFC, the game, the women's side of the game is still growing and evolving and changing, and the men's side has a lot of like tendencies, and that just it takes time. So the way that Marina finishes fights looks like a championship fighter to me,
Yeah,
right? Like she has the dog. She doesn't care. She doesn't have like
yeah,
it's not mercy when she fights. It's not
yep.
like I'm not gonna take her out. Like if she's gonna take you out, kind of like a Yair Rodriguez.
hmm
I'm gonna take you out, or I'm gonna be taken out. And that for me is like a Diego Sanchez is like that mindset.
Yeah.
That's what I think China changes her for. In that division. That's why I'd like to see that fight sooner than later.
Hell yeah, and yeah, sooner than later is the operative words there. Um, and I like both of our picks because unlike men's welterweight, that's women's strawweight's not a 2 horse race. If
Mm-hmm.
you, I just showed you like the top 5 or 6. All of those girls can be champ, and Jessica Andrade proved that, as well as Zhang, as well as Namayuna is getting back there for her second title. I would say title reign. She won this rematch, so she's it's 2 in a row, one for the belt, one for the win. So, hey. One for the belt, one for the win for us, you and me, the reigning defending champions of this show, okay? There is no other. There's no debating that. So there's no debating what my favorite topic is. This is topic 4, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you to shame or not to shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Let's reconfigure. Let's freeze my clock. And I think I could do this like that. Oh, did you see what I just did? Rob, to shame or not to shame? Let's go with the obvious, okay? This one, you got to go first. Aaron Rodgers' explanation as to why he was not vaccinated. Rob, to shame or not to shame?
Um, I think it in my eyes probably just a shame, just because if you know what the situation is, just own up to it and take the scrutiny for whatever it is. If you don't want to take that, then that's kind of the position you're in. You can't be in a platform of a social platform position and then say I don't want social platform. That's not how it works. You either have it or you don't. So yeah, you say I don't want to answer that question. This is how I feel. This is how it is. But you don't kind of skirt around the question and then want everybody to understand where you're coming from when you don't explain where you're coming from in the first place. So again, yeah, a lot of
Wow.
weird
Yep.
concepts, but yeah, for me, it's just like step up. If you're, it's not about be a man, but step up, be a human being. If you make a choice, if you think this is a mistake, then say it. If you don't think it's a mistake, just say this is my choice. And he's said that.
Yep.
He's had to say the right things going forward. But the idea is just say that from the beginning.
Yep.
You don't have to say immunized. Explain to people what it means. If you don't want to explain what it means, say, hey, ask the commissioner.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But
I mean, yep.
yeah, I think it's just a bad PR by him, and that's his choice. Yeah, shame.
Rob, I gotta go. I think I'm gonna go shame on this too, and for reasons obvious, for reasons you already mentioned that I thought you did so eloquently that it almost embarrasses me to bear repeating this. Okay, when you are asked if you've been vaccinated and you answer the question by saying I've been immunized, and then when people come back at you and you say I didn't lie to the public, it has to be the most immature, worst sophomore psychological version of verbal gymnastics I've ever seen, probably from coming from an athlete, especially an athlete who should know better and is smarter than that. Okay, he thought he was being slick on this one, and nobody's buying it. When you say I've been immunized and you answer the question that way, you know damn well you're making the public believe that you're saying you're being vaccinated. So this whole thing, they could believe what they want. Man, shame on you. Just stop. I don't even have a problem with him not being vaccinated. I mean, Carson Wentz isn't vaccinated. Just go through the stricter protocols, okay? Because even though the vaccine doesn't stop you from transmitting it, it does help you. It combat you from actually getting it more resistant, and more importantly, symptomatic wise, you deal with the symptoms a little bit better, But if you choose not to get it, you gotta protect the people that are vulnerable around you. Not again, and I reiterate this, Rob, not from transmitting it, because that's already, the CDC director said that's already no longer possible. It's no, you can't prevent, it can't be prevented from being transmitted anymore. But getting it, still doing a great job. Being symptoms not being as severe, great job. So and nobody's asking for a booster, man. Just stop lying to the public. Rob, to shame or not to shame? We got our guy. What the hell's this guy's name? Cassius Marsh, flagged for taunting. Shame or no shame? I'm gonna go first on this one. I gotta go shame on this, because even though the NFL was explicit and warned everybody that taunting the other team is gonna be, like celebrating amongst yourself, excessive celebrating, they're gonna go lenient with those flags. But they also said that if you do something to show up the other team, that you're definitely gonna be flagged by that. And I thought in this one case it was right. He did stare down the other team. He did try to show up the other team. He didn't bump into the referee. The referee backed up and booty bumped him. But with that being said, I'm very, very interested to see what happens when Brady scores a touchdown and he goes to the opposing team sideline and starts chatting like as he walks away, because there are certain people who star power, even with the referees making an emphasis on this, they're never going to get a flag. So I'd say shame, because there's still a double standard. Show me Aaron Rodgers getting flagged for that. Show me Tom Brady getting flagged for that. Show me some of these rock star, receivers getting flagged for that. And then I'll change my mind from shame to no shame on this. But for now, I say shame. Rob.
Yeah, I mean, definitely shame first of all on that guy, because if you really watch the video, I had only seen it at first. I saw the play live.
He did the
but I didn't
taekwondo
realize-
kick.
Yeah, I saw the play live, and I never saw the beginning of the celebration. All I really saw was the issue was going on after. So I only saw him walk over. But if you watch, it's like a 30-second celebration where at first they're celebrating. This guy does a roundhouse karate kid, taekwondo kick, which is equally impressive in itself. Then some guys come over and he celebrates with those guys. He goes to a whole nother group and celebrates. And then he starts walking over towards the bench. Sure, it could be the fans behind, but he walks over towards the bench, looks at them, and then walks away. That's just excessive celebration. We don't even have to go to taunting. Just excessive celebration. Nobody needs that. He's a bench player. He comes in situationally. So, nobody needs nothing like that. For a fact, if you come in like that and you're a rotational player, the very last thing that you could do, the very worst thing that you could do, is to get a penalty. It doesn't even matter what you do. Yeah. The worst thing you can do is get a penalty. And he did that. So,
and because of him, they ran out of time, right? They ended up having to try to kick a 66-yard field goal.
What happened was the 66-yard field goal was maybe 5 yards short.
But they only had to kick that because they ran out of time, because this man, it was going to be 4th and 15, and he got flagged on the 4th and 15, which kept their Pittsburgh's drive alive. That's why I'm mad at him. But go ahead.
No, Pittsburgh scored, and they had the chance to come back and score later on in the game, so they could have still won the game eventually. But yeah, it was that was still just on the score before they even won the game. There was a lot more scoring after that, but still, the guy, it's just a crucial play that could have changed the game. It doesn't have to happen, but he also doesn't have to do that. So it is totally shame on him.
Yeah.
Control your actions. Celebrate. Yeah. Don't be excessive.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. All right, so let's move on to our next topic. Quick question. I still got it wrong. Quick question. Damn it, Rob. You know what? We're just gonna have music for this next week. All right, I'm gonna just have regular music for this. My boy Bern Norman, the lead singer for Under My Next. He's gonna do all of our music from now on, except "Step Into a World" by KRS-One. Rob, quick question: will the Browns miss Odell?
No.
I say no. Quick question: by the time this episode comes out, our audience is already gonna know. But which team do you think he's gonna wind up on? Who needs him?
The Raiders. The Raiders need him bad. Yeah. They don't have the cap space, but they need him.
I think in the perfect world, it goes back to the Giants. They need a true wideout one, but I don't know.
We got a lot of players, but we'll see.
Yeah, I like the Giants. Rob, quick question. Rob, quick question. Same as the question as last week. Who wins the AFC North?
Oh, man. Steelers? I don't know. Steelers, maybe?
I got Ravens. Rob, quick question. Are the Titans the best team in the AFC right now? Since it's so up for grabs, I go first on this one. I say yes.
Yeah, sure. It was a good showing last week, I have to say.
Quick question, Rob. With the Cardinals beating the Niners without Murray and Hopkins, did they show they're the best team in the NFL?
Yeah, and without some of their coaching staff too. So that was pretty big. So yeah, I'd have to say yes.
Yeah, for me, I got to stop hiding behind Brady. I got to say an emphatic yes. I think they're the best team in the NFL. Quick question, Rob. Lamar Jackson threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for the hell is that? You got some nerve calling me. Um, Lamar Jackson threw for 3 touchdowns and ran for 120 yards, which is a rarity, which has never happened for the quarterback. Is he the leader of the MVP race, candidate race? I think, yeah.
It's hard to say, man.
Somebody worthy, huh?
Yeah, I'd say yeah, he's in there. He's definitely in there. You know, that's as far as I'll go.
Okay. Ask me, Rob. Did the Patriots change my mind over the weekend as far as them being a playoff team? My answer is yes. I looked at the remaining schedule and they still got to play the Bills, but man, all Bill Belichick needed is a quarterback that can make some plays here and there. Their defense, people, no one says enough about their defense. People forget they were missing 9 players last year. I think 9 players opted out because of COVID, and they're
Mhm.
healthy now. All those nagging injuries are gone. I say yes. I changed. Hey, you know, when the facts change, so does my opinion. How do you feel?
It hasn't changed.
Okay.
Mac Jones, number 16th overall pick.
Yeah,
Everybody else is a freaking fool.
yeah. Look, I'm hitching. Your bandwagon's big enough. I'm gonna hitch a ride with you. Um,
Man,
Quick question, Rob. Which rookie quarterback is your favorite for rookie of the year right now?
favorite for rookie of the year. Um,
Only a couple of people that got to start, right? There's only 3 of them. As far as I know, Trevor
I
Lawrence,
mean,
Mac Jones. Um,
definitely Mac Jones. I mean, he's starting. He's got the starting role easily. He's playing well. The team's playing well. It's only going to go up from there. But I really think that, if you're looking at, outside of statistics and like their growth and what's going to happen, I think Justin Fields is going to be something. I think he's going to be something special. And ain't nobody run like him.
no.
None of these quarterbacks, these young quarterbacks run like him. So, Mac Jones is an obvious choice. I think he's just perfect situation, perfect player, perfect everything. And that's just going to show for years on end. But outside of him, yeah, Justin Fields definitely my guy. I don't know Trevor Lawrence, man, I like him, but not the quarterback for the system you need right now. Like I just think it was the wrong choice, wrong player, wrong system. So we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Mac Jones, inevitably rookie of the year.
Yeah. I go Mac Jones. Just though Justin Fields did show me something, and I'm glad they against everyone else's better judgment that they just started to make him their starter. I thought that was just the
Who are
right
the
thing to
other
do.
quarterbacks that
Well, it was
got drafted? I
Dalton.
forget.
I
No,
mean,
who
well,
this
the
year? Like
Jets
Zach
drafted
Wilson
someone, and Zach got
and
hurt, but this dude from Western
who
Kentucky
else?
did well. Then he got hurt. You
Yeah,
know,
Mike White. Yeah, like it's
yeah,
just like, man, Justin Fields and Mac Jones. That's
that's
two
it.
quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah, 2 horse race. Um,
14, 16.
so quick question: who really won between Zhang and Thug Rose?
Oh, that's a debate.
Well, it was a split decision.
Yeah, but Rose still retained her title, yeah.
No, but and who to us who really won?
Oh, I
We
mean,
know about historical facts, right? I mean,
yeah, I thought it was a great fight.
yeah,
And I think fights come down to this. I think that's the right decision. You know what I mean?
me too.
I think fights come down to this where if you don't put somebody on the canvas, you don't put somebody out,
If you don't take it to the
goes to a
champ,
decision.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and the champ should have an edge. So I think that's the right decision. I thought it was a great fight.
Hmm.
Um, what more can you say?
Yeah. Hey, basketball quick question. Can the Lakers get to the playoffs without LeBron James?
No.
I think they can, but I think they're gone first round. Last question, basketball question. The Warriors are now 9-1. Can they take the West?
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of it's on that Clay Thompson may or may not, come back this year. There's just that hope and the energy in the building. So yeah, for sure. You see it's a whole different team this year.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, that's all I got for quick question. But not a whole lot to say about before we go. For me, I'm a prisoner of the moment when it comes to stand-up comedians. So I guess I'm just going to give a shout out to stand-up comedians who have been entertaining us for all the years, through the ups and downs, the COVIDs, wartime situations. For some reason, they inserted their opinion into politics, and oddly enough, they seem to be the ones that we trust the most because that they're coming from an honest place. They have nothing to gain or lose. So big up to comedians like Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, George Carlin, you know what I'm saying, people like that. Big up to those guys that keep us entertained and at the same time always forthcoming and truthful to us. Sometimes it's an inconvenient truth, you know, sometimes it's tough love, but I think they're our last bastion of hope, is just as far as us being able to talk to each other as human beings. And I mentioned that on my podcast. So that's, if I were to do it before we go shout out, that's the only thing I got to say. And that's only because I can't shake it. You know,
For sure.
I can't shake it. Robbie, is there anything you'd like to say to our audience before we depart this place, but never their presence?
Stay happy, stay healthy, y'all.
That man said, stay happy, stay healthy. All right, Rob McLean might love you, and I don't think I love you guys today. In fact, I'm just beat. I can't stand you. I got nothing left, okay? I got nothing left. That man got nothing but love, and me, I got nothing. I am Hater J today. I am out of here, guys. So for all of you at home, for all of you on your iPad or iPhone, for all of you on your desktop or Droid, for all of you on whatever device or whatever means you have of watching this man, that man is Rob. Keep it McLean. I'm Jason DeBillius. And you know what? I always leave this way. We love you to pieces. We love you to pieces. We're out. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.